when the female ghosts gets inside your body, that performance, that one shot.
I mean, seriously, how does anyone find that funny?
This is going to be something that I'm deeply passionate about, so sit tight and also give me your viewpoints on the same, because that's the one thing people don't want. A discourse. An open discourse in this PR-fueled hyper-analysis world where they want celebrities to be perceived as perfect and having no hiccups or flaws whatsoever. The PR teams hate that there is still a select few people wanting to give their honest takes on the internet. Everyone wishes that I and a few others in this space can become PR voice boxes singing praises of the talents they represent. But I strive for a safe space where there can be an open discussion, because otherwise, everyone is perfect and I should put my rose-tinted glasses on and defend everything mediocre and problematic as something profound and impressive. Call me out on a day where you see that shift in me, because that will be the death of this channel and everything that I represent.
You sure about that?
At a recent event at IFFI Goa, Ranveer Singh was on stage talking about everything under the sky, from his much anticipated movie Dhurandhar, singing praises of legend Rajinikanth by quoting the hook line from Jailer, and also giving a special message to Rishab Shetty on stage for his brilliant performance in Kantara Chapter 1. This could be just a regular appearance, but regular and Ranveer really don't go together, and the theatrics have to follow. I'm not new to Ranveer Singh getting slightly carried away with himself. I've made videos on the saturation of his appearances outside of films, actually creating a negative connotation towards the artist. His loud and almost overcompensating nature clouding the perception among audiences on how bloody talented he is, affecting the performances of his films too. However, when Ranveer did take a backseat from accepting every award available in India and shifting gears to mainly focusing on his primary job, that is acting, one got excited finally for a Ranveer Singh commercial banger in the form of Dhurandhar. Dhurandhar is making exactly the noise you would like. People are intrigued, the cast looks amazing, the music is getting everyone exhilarated already, and the first major public appearance that you do becomes a topic of discussion and a point of controversy that is important to discuss. Hi PR teams, yes, it's important to discuss this, to learn from it, to understand it. This can't be put under the rug, ignored and assumed as if nothing happened. You are not Men in Black that you're going to use a neuralizer and assume that we won't remember. Sorry, I got slightly carried away. Why am I even scolding you guys? Anyway, the point of contention is actually not Ranveer's intent, but the content of the words he is saying. It also puts into question whether actors even watch films or just get the random highlights through reels and YouTube videos. For anyone who has even as ambient viewing seen Kantara, you would know that Bhutakola, or the multiple forms of deity worship that the movie focuses on, specifically in this case of Chavundi appearing in the climax of Kantara, this just cannot be referenced as a ghost entering one's body. To denote it as that on a public platform is offensive, and I think it's even more problematic when you start enacting the same as a means of just entertainment on a film festival stage. This is something that is very sacred and dear to people, something that a person like Ranveer, I guess, just does not understand the cultural context of it all. There seems to be a complete lack of understanding of the context of this in the story, making me really think that most actors or artists, after a certain amount of popularity, just really have a very surface level understanding of things becoming popular. They either don't watch these movies or just snap the highlights to reference later in interviews as a means so that real fans can clip it and be thankful that their favorite movie is being praised by someone not local to the language or culture. To make matters worse, when Ranveer ends up meeting Rishab, he tries to enact the same again in front of him, the actor obviously getting awkward in the process and also urging Ranveer to not do the same. This seems to get lost in translation for someone like Ranveer, who just somewhat loses himself in these public events. In the pursuit of just entertaining the audience. You know what I've noticed also? A lot of these praises for other actors at public events is very performative, and I would much rather see stars not shake fake pleasantries than almost feeling compelled to say something nice to someone. You know the meme of someone saying that they love a band or a team, and the first question that someone asks is name 5 songs or name 5 players from the team? Sometimes I really think people should not indulge in the conversation only if they don't have an understanding of the topic. But I think there is a deep insecurity of someone admitting to not knowing something and then they overcompensate with the tidbits that they know. और सवाल कौन ही पूछेगा? Perception तो बन जाएगी कि मैं informed हूँ. I think what I've also come to realize is that actors are not just actors anymore. They have multiple businesses and side hustles. They feature more in Ambani-sponsored events than in movies. They dance in weddings for crores of money. And what this atmosphere essentially then lacks is any introspection, any learning or pursuits to anything creative also. You are just celebrated and surrounded by yes men and PR teams that control every contrarian discourse. So how are you even supposed to know that you did something wrong? I mean, to even ask the crowd whether they want to see him in Kantara 3 makes me also think that he may not even have an idea that Kantara Chapter 1 is a prequel. I think there is going to be a huge shift with some actors who will completely go MIA from social media and these frivolous events and take the approach of Akshay Khanna, who appears sparingly in movies, features in blockbusters, steals scenes, and just vanishes from the public eye. And when he doesn't know anything, he just says, I don't know. I think Ranveer just got ahead of himself. I think his intent was appreciation. It just has this odd, ignorant connotation that just doesn't sit right and is reflective of why people get consistently annoyed with Hindi film stars. I think it's important to talk about it though, rather than assuming that nothing happened, because I think the death of this industry will be its control of discourse, this incessant need to only be surrounded by praise, hence creating a false notion of utopia. Trust me, you are not convincing anyone. The public at large is reading through it. Ranveer is a talent who I love, who I root for, and I would much rather that he be spoken about for his talent than his theatrics off camera. It completely takes the focus away from an exciting project like Dhurandhar. Moving ahead, I really want to talk about what has been flooding my feed, and it's the perception that the Kartik-Aryan Ananya Panday chemistry of their upcoming film is so sizzling and through the roof that people are giddy with excitement for Tu Mera, Main Tera, Tera Mera, Tu Mera, Mera Tera, Tera, Tu Mera.
Abey sale.
You know when a Kartik-Aryan movie is coming out that the promotions are going to be flooding your feeds. I don't blame Kartik. Hey, you made a name for yourself from nothing in this industry. Go all out to spread the word about the movie you are starring in. I don't have to like it, but I don't blame you for pushing the word out there, because who is going to do it otherwise? A beautiful movie starring outsiders like Vijay Verma and Fatima Sana Sheikh called Gustakh Ishq just released last weekend to empty theatres. You are the master of your fate. Go do the most over-the-top promotions you can. But there is a slight outdated nature to how these movies are being promoted that I can't help but roll my eyes about. I mean, I get it that you're visiting colleges because that's a young demographic that buys tickets, especially the genre your movie focuses on. But sometimes I really get worried about the investment being made. I mean, a hot air balloon with the movie title plastered on it, the movie teaser being pushed through ads so that you can boast about it being the #1 teaser in the romantic genre. One can sniff the forced nature of the marketing versus what one should learn from the success stories of this year. What's common between Sayyara and Tere Ishq Mein? I don't remember any of the cast members doing something crazy extravagant for the movie marketing. A solid trailer, great music, and the audience showered it with love. So I think a lot of these city events, mall visits, college campus stage shows are really a hit and a miss, especially when I put into context Karan Johar himself speaking about how he promotes mid-movies more than films that they are confident about, reminding me of the crazy nature of promotions for a movie like Selfie and how the content eventually was. Irrespective, the teaser of the word jumble of a title left me rather underwhelmed. This is the first time in his career that Kartik is being presented as a sexy male lead. Kartik is usually presented as the Sonu Bittu types in movies, usually representing someone who is out of luck with love, is not the most charming but still has a way to impress the female lead. However, here the attempt is to present him as someone who strikes the attention of the ladies, someone who just naturally possesses a sex appeal, and I commend the effort. but from the teaser, I just didn't really see it. The teaser presents a string of SMS jokes between the two leads that also made me feel like this was the love rangification of Dharma Productions, where generic tropes of men and women are discussed in picturesque locations only to be forgotten in a few weeks. I must say though, that when the teaser transitioned to Kartik laughing at Ananya, the cadence of his laugh is exactly reminiscent of Akshay Kumar's laugh from Namaste London, and the constant discussion of Kartik imitating Akshay Kumar is not going to die anytime soon. Sameer Vidwans is directing this film. I did love Satyaprem Ki Katha, but this from a tone perspective is a complete 180. This teaser did not make me chuckle or laugh, and when the jellyfish and Sussu gag appeared, and when I get flashbacks now of the atrocity that I saw 1 week ago called Masti 4, I really wonder when Bollywood will get over Sussu potty jokes, because no one is laughing at them except my 8-year-old nephew. Finally, the title track that has dropped of this film refreshingly course-corrected what we have been complaining about with Kartik-Aryan dance performances in movies. Rather than just focusing on his footwork, a trope that was run to the ground because it worked once in Bhool Bhulaiyaa 2, here we have Kartik being handed over a great combination of footwork and upper body movement. What I find hilarious though is that the music video is initially presented as a couple-focused dance piece, and the moment the chorus is about to play, Ananya just randomly vanishes, only for Kartik to perform the solo. This reminds me of the most hilarious music video titled Private Party from the Tamil movie Dawn, where the moment the choreography transitions to become complicated, Priyanka Mohan vaults her way out of the frame only for Shiva Karthikeyan to perform the number. My only gripe with the music video is that the frames of this music video are so crowded. The costumes of the two leads don't make them stand out as the center of attention, so in certain frames you would not even be able to tell who is the leading hero, because one simply gets camouflaged in the sea of dancers in the frame. Their costumes also blend them in the crowd, so much so that if you told me that this center dancer was also involved in a triangle love story, I wouldn't doubt it. The teaser and song doesn't really strike me as something different than what is already being attempted in this genre, but I think only the trailer will spill more details, whether we'll be surprised. The point being in all of this is that noise through pap pages on Instagram to convince us that actors have sizzling chemistry, movie has unprecedented hype, or this hero is changing the game. If you think that this is creating a perception that Bollywood is having a lock on the narrative that is around the industry, you are highly mistaken, because most people want to see proof in the results, in the craft, in compelling stories versus noisy and flashy headlines. I know PR is the nature of the beast in the modern age of information, but I think its omnipresent and invasive nature on everyone's social media pages is causing more harm than good for the industry. And that was the video, guys. Write down in the comments below what you thought about the particular incident involving Ranveer Singh or the promotional material for the Kartik-Aryan and Ananya Panday movie. Please don't forget to follow me on Instagram. The handle is right in front of you. Follow me at JammyPants4. Also, please support us by smashing the like button and subscribing to our channel for weekly content ahead. Thank you for watching.